Hello, hello. How is everybody today? I hope all is well. I see a few of the good old dudes in the jam here. We got Theo, Torquebo, Apoplexia, and Colt. I hope you guys are well. This is a tester show today. Little pilot show. The Baritone news. There's been a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm sure more people would like to know about these things. So I'm going to attempt to popularize some of these ideas, some of this news, I guess, and see if we can fill a whole hour of this information. The very first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to say thank you to everybody with me over at Patreon and YouTube memberships. Highly appreciated. They are the people who have brought you this show. And without them, there would be nothing happening here. No videos, no music, no nothing. I'd be still working in a t-shirt print shop. Ain't nothing wrong with working in a t-shirt print shop. But I don't know. I like baritone guitars a little bit more. Just saying. Anyhow, we're going to get to our very first news item here. And that is the good old SRC6. Keeps coming up. Keep getting messages. People, not just messages, emails, all of this stuff. They're like, hey, Bunn, where can I get an SRC6? Well, I do have one friend here in Ontario who is selling one, but he's only selling it locally. So if you live in Ontario and you want an SRC6, I got a hookup for you. But if you're looking to buy something over the internet, you just got to wait for something used to pop up. But it is discontinued as outlined here. SRC6 was discontinued in 2020, meaning they did not produce any models for 2021. And if we take a look at the Ibanez SR series lineup, it is part of the Bass Workshop series, and that is this here, SR Workshop lineup. If we take a look at that, obviously, as you may know, Ibanez is different from region to region, but this seems to be consistent across all regions. No SRC6 anywhere. And in the Canadian, North American offering, there is no SRC6 to be found. And everything points towards there being no SRC6. And it's confusing because we have things like this. The Fender Vintage Modified Baritone Jazzmaster, still listed on the Fender website. I get a lot of emails about this guitar too. Bunn, where can I get a Jazzmaster? People are selling them used for $2,000. I'm like, it's very confusing. Oh, what happened here? Oh, there's even more. Videos and everything. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know what Fender is doing. But anyhow, SRC6, it is gone. Gone but not forgotten, and some of us will love it in our hearts forever. I've been fortunate to acquire one, but curious to see what's on everyone's mind is what model is Ibanez going to replace it with if they choose to do such a thing. If they do a 30-inch guitar model, everyone is like, oh, I hope they do a guitar model. Something, the AZ, the AZS, the RG, the RGA, the RGD, AX, AR, micro. A 30-inch micro? I don't know if that's a good idea. Anyway, I'm curious, what model might you be interested in seeing from Ibanez for a 30-inch offering? 30 inch is the hot number these days. And for good reason, because 30 inches of scale accommodates almost anything, and it does it really well. Comparative to, say, 26.5. If you want to go super low at 26.5, it's like, it's painful. The results are always terrible, unless you're only playing Max Brutals on the open note. But yeah, what model are you guys interested in if Ibanez was to do a 30-inch model in a guitar style body as opposed to previous offering of the bass, the SR series. Very curious there. Going to take a look at a few of the comments here. I do not have the streaming software that I used to have. It was too expensive and I no longer have it. So I cannot put the comments on the screen. I can see the comments though. So Nar Antlers says he loves his SRC6, might let it go for 3,000 on reverb though. Yeah. I'm curious how high the SRC6 will climb. Is it that desirable? I know that people who do want it really want it. And as we can see here, Torquebo saying, no, discontinued, no. Yeah, it's gone. Missed the boat. Yeah, it seems like a few of you. Cody is saying missed the boat on it as well. Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. Does Ibanez even know what they had in the SRC6? It was a weird model for them because the way that they marketed it, they didn't get it in front of the right people at the right time, like soon enough. People didn't know what it was. They didn't even know it existed. They didn't even know that they wanted it until it got into enough hands of enough people who were interested in using it in a Bass6 guitar type of role. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Hopefully they give us, I don't know, an AX or an AR 30-inch scale. Or maybe you guys want an RG or an RGD. I don't know. I'm a classic guy. I'm very selfish that way. Classic guitars all the way. The RG is classic though. Like the RG IB6, that's a modern classic. It's been around for 25 years, that shape. But yeah, Bass6s, big topic today. Moving to our next little bit here in the topic, which is the famous Rogue SubZero or SubZero Rogue. And my pal, who is in the comments I see there, my pal Ratho Quarter, Matt over at Ratho Quarter channel, he did an amazing demo on this guitar.
I love it, and I think it.
We're going to not play the audio because of what do you call it, copyright and all that kind of stuff. But you can check out his video. I'll have links to everything after the show. But the SubZero Rogue, it's back in stock. There are 20 in stock, so it says. I don't know if this is an attempt at scarcity on behalf of Gear for Music. They may have more in stock, who knows? But it's currently available to ship. There are 20 in stock, insane low price of $223. I believe this is in American dollars currently, or it might be showing in Canadian dollars. And if it was Canadian, it would be like $900 because the Canadian dollar sucks. But yeah, SubZero Rogue is in stock. So act fast if you want one because they sell out right away. Everyone always misses the boat on these in stock currently. What's also in stock is the Harley Benton. And also an insane price, you know, $244. You can get a B stock right now for $228. I don't know if it's worth getting a B stock. They're already not the most exquisitely crafted instruments. So, you know, you can take your chance. The B stock might be functionally okay. And if it's just cosmetic blemishes, then yeah, I'll take the savings because I don't care about cosmetic blemishes. But yeah, insane low prices currently in stock. They're always sold out, but they're there right now. And there's no hype. People being like, hey, they're in stock. I guess people are like, oh, I want to make sure I can get one. But yeah, they're in stock. Check it out if you're into the Bass6. Something to know about both of these instruments. If you watch Ratho's video, Matt's video, he gives you all the specs and the ditty on it. But they're both 30 inches in scale, same as the SRC6. The benefit of this one here, you know, as you can see, passive humbuckers, and so low noise and very nice sounding humbuckers given the price of the guitar. Everyone who has done a demo on it, Matt over at Ratho Quarter, as well as Kian, has done a demo on this guitar, and Kian switched his out for bare knuckles, and the stock pickups sound totally good compared to the bare knuckles. There is not this huge disappointment in these pickups. Very surprising instrument. Like I say, 30 inches in scale, humbucker, comes with a knockoff Bigsby. I don't know how much I like that part, but yeah, you just don't put the Bigsby on. I don't know, does Ratho's demo, does he have a Bigsby model? I don't think so. I think he has a fixed bridge model. Yeah. Anyway, this one comes with a Bigsby for $223. It's not a Bigsby. It's a Bigsby knockoff. But the Harley Benton fixed bridge, you know, Tom style bridge, single coils, but it's a pick guard. Very easy to just cut the pick guard and put a humbucker in there. They sound good, the single coils that are in here. Knug, pal of mine over in Germany, has done a demo on that. Oh, what the heck. There we go. But yeah, in stock and act fast. I don't know how many are available of this. Do they say? Tommen, sales rank, sales unit, item number. It doesn't say how many are currently in stock that I can see. Anyway, there you go. If you've been chomping at the bit, now's the time to get these unbelievably inexpensive and usually quite good. Some people get lemons, but it seems that these days they've figured out most of the quality control. Don't take my word for it. You're on your own if you get into these instruments. They are very cheap. If you expect to get a Lambo for the price of a Civic, that's not reasonable. So tread weary. Yeah, tread lightly, rather. We'll see what happens there. I'm curious to see how the Facebook group, the Baritone Obsessed Facebook group, if people get into it and what kind of quality of guitars they're getting. It seems every batch seems to be getting better, but not sure. Benjamin Hodgson, he's asking in the comments here if the Schecter C6 is also discontinued. It looks like I sent them an email. I have not got a response yet on what the specifics are on that. So for those of you looking for a Schecter Base6, I think those only came into popularity recently, and those models were available for a very long time and did not sell very well. Both the Ultra 6 and the C6, and there was also the Hellcat 6. There were not a lot of takers on those instruments for a very long time. And I don't know what Schecter's current position is. Like I say, I sent them an email, but they never get back to me. Maybe they will this time, hopefully. But we'll see what happens in terms of Schecter 30-inch scales. Schecter never really got into the baritone game with any kind of, you know, the Baritone 6 game anyway, with any kind of lust, any kind of vigor, any kind of interest. We'll see. Maybe it's up to you guys. Send Schecter emails, flood their social media with, can we please have a, you know, a 30-inch scale PT? I would love to see that. Oh my God. Their PT with 30-inch scale, like the black one, just the standard PT, just put a 30-inch scale neck on it. Thank you. The humbucker one. Anyway. Next on the list, I got to burn through this because I'm going to ultimately, this is a pilot for those of you just joining. This is a pilot news series. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to do this every week. But a lot of stuff comes across my plate and I'm like, I should try doing this news show, just an hour every Monday. Well, I don't know if it'll be every Monday. There's a lot of news today, but there might not be a lot of news next week. I don't know. The key is me not taking time out of producing videos, like the produced videos. If I don't have to take time out of those to produce this, I will do this. And if there's enough news. But anyway, we're going to get back to it here. Gary, how are you? Knug put some BKP brute force pickups in his. Sounds pretty damn good in his tracks. So that part, hey, you know what? I wonder. I just had an idea for comments. I don't have the software anymore for, putting comments on the screen. And am I missing some of the dudes here? I hope not. Hello, Ike. Hello, Calvert. Hello, Cody. Hello, Beard Guy. Hello, Mert. Gary Hebner. Andrew. Deerwog. Any missing anyone? Mr. Ratho. And Gunky Zip, Benjamin. Hello to everyone. Okay, I just had an idea for comments on the screen, but I'm not going to try it right now. That I don't have to use special software for. But yeah, anyway, we're going to get back to the regularly scheduled program. Like I say, this is a pilot series, and yeah, we're going to see how it goes. The Barry news. So desktop right, bam. What is this? It is the Urge Baritone by Pure Salem Guitars. This came to me through, I believe, my homie Ben Drakeford. Ben Drakeford. He's an Englishman living in Germany. Oh, it says right here. Bam. Look at it. The link is still there. Bunn. He sent me the link. Anyhow, the Urge Baritone don't have any specs on it. I'm going to guess somewhere in the 27. It looks like a shorty. No specs yet. I believe my pal Stephen Barton from Gear Stuff and Things YouTube channel had one of these on pre-order when it very first went up, and then COVID happened and they took it down. They didn't have enough pre-orders. I don't know the whole story, but it's back up. I don't know if it's exactly the same as the original thing they were going to do. But I'm intrigued. It's classic looking, and they don't always knock it out of the park with their classic looks. Pure Salem Guitars. I'm not criticizing them. I'm just, I find it's sort of hit and miss in terms of their versions of classics. This looks very classic to me. Very nicely done. P90s, Tom Bridge, all the good stuff. So keep an eye out for Pure Salem. It's not on their website. There's no listing whatsoever on their website for any baritones. And interesting, I guess, that's the way social media, that's the way the web works these days. But looks cool. If you're into the vintage thing, if you're into the classics, you're probably going to be pretty excited about this. I'm pretty excited about it. I like the classics. I guess it's because I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm a man. I'm so so old that I'm so extra man. Hey, Anthony Nito, I see you there. I can't put the comments back up on the screen, but I can see everybody out there. The Hellcat, yeah, Hellcat discontinued. They're all the Schecters are discontinued as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong there, but hopefully I'm wrong. But we're gonna I'm gonna take a look at some of the comments here. Of course. Oh, I'm gonna go to the camera. If I go to the camera, I can move the comments into the field of view. There we go. There was a guy on Reverb, Gunky Zip says, who had a bunch in January. A bunch in January, I guess a bunch of Hellcats, a bunch of Schecters. He sold out, but was going to contact me in 8 weeks when he got more. He was getting more. Oh, crazy. Benjamin. Yeah, I think you guys are talking about the C6s or the various Schecter 30-inch scales. It's interesting that Schecter, in doing 6-string long scales, only did 30-inch. Like, they've done 26.5. I don't know if that counts for very much. Or actually, have they? Have they ever done a 26.5 6-string? 7 strings, yes. But in 6-string, yeah, not a lot. Oh, the Keith Merrow. At least one of the Keith Merrows are 26.5. Or maybe 26. Not sure. But yeah, they usually just go straight out to 30. They were way ahead of the curve, but never caught on until now, until the last, I don't know, 6 months. But, oh, Nar Antlers. Thanks, brother. $10. Maybe a reverb rundown segment could add content to Barry News. Great show idea. Glad you're streaming today. Yeah, we're going to do an hour for those of you just joining. Just going to do an hour on this Monday. I'm going to do it for a few weeks, see how it goes. As long as it doesn't cut into me making produced videos. That's very important, but also is of some kind of value, is, you know, it needs to mean something. It needs to be valuable in some way. I don't want to just talk about nothing. I don't want to bring nothing to the table. I have to bring something to the table or else it's gone. Anyhow, we're going to move on. We're going to bring stuff to the table right now. And we're going to go to the next little bit here. This one's pretty interesting. Interesting for me, at least. Back to desktop right. Bam! What is this? Bunn. You love the Danos, don't you, Bunn? Yes, I do love the Danos. Why is this special? This is special because of these specs right here. This is Chicago Music Exchange. Something to keep in mind with Chicago Music Exchange is they have the power to sometimes do, you know, CME exclusives, where they can go to Danelectro, they can go to whoever and be like, hey, let's do a batch of these. They're very popular, and you can only get them at Chicago Music Exchange. And Chicago Music Exchange is the kind of place that would know for a fact that people love them Coke bottle headstocks. And if we look here, including the bottle headstock. So this reissue, and this is the other thing, brand new, more expected July. Oh, okay. Is it already sold out? It might have already sold out. It came into stock, I think, today. Today or yesterday. Brand, July 2021. So, yeah, but it says here, brand new. And I think maybe the initial order has already sold out. Yeah, it's sold out. Damn it. Like, literally, it came into stock, I think, 2 days ago. Yeah, anyway, Coke bottle headstock. For those of you like me who are crazy about that kind of stuff, look at this. Look at this business. Oh, we want this one right here. Bam. Look at it. Doesn't that look sexy? The only thing it's missing is the classic D pickguard. I like that with the stripe on it and all that stuff. I like that stuff. But yeah, Dano with the Coke bottle headstock, man. The original U2 kind of configuration. Not U2 the band, the original model. The Danelectro U2, I think, was the original model name. But yeah, very exciting, and more expected for July 2021. So yeah, if you're on that Dano train and you want to get one here in North America, and you know, you want to pay this sweet $499, $500 for that's a good price. Very sexy. Oh, look, I see in the comments there we got 7 NM or MND. If you guys are into the Danos, he has an amazing video on a red sparkle Dano. Great video, great player, just great. go to his channel, subscribe, check it out. Yeah. And he's in love with the Danos. He knows the magic. They're very magical. And continuing with the Dano magic, you know, we're going to go over here to the Danelectro website. And what is going on here? This is a left-handed model, and it's not infrequent that Dano has left-handed, you know, models available. But what does this say here? What does this mean? This is new. I've never seen this before. Combining our 56 lipstick with piezo produces huge tone. What are they talking about? I have no idea what's going on here. 599 street. So estimated street. So that means it might actually also go for the 499 that we're seeing at Chicago Music Exchange. At least on the western side of the Atlantic. Western side? Yeah, western side. But I'm baffled. You know, I came across this a couple days ago, and this is new, by the way. Lefty models, like everything in this category, according to the website. What does that mean? Who knows what it means? I'm on this website a lot, but it says new lefty guitars. And so let's just go there, new lefty guitars, and it just brings up this page. Bam. So seems new to me, but yeah, what is up with this piezo hybrid pickup configuration? Don't know what's going on there. That's crazy. Mr. Teschner. How are you? I hope you're well. He has a Dano. Or do you still have your Dano? I hope you still have your Dano. Amazing guitar. The Longhorn is an acquired taste. Ratho says, yes. I remember NoFX, Fat Mike from NoFX, bass player from NoFX, for quite a while was using the Longhorn. They have an amazing sound as a bass sound. If you play punk rock and you want that boing, boing, boing kind of sound, you're definitely going to get it from the Longhorn. And I believe this is a short scale. Yeah, it's a 30 or 32 inch scale. And something that's interesting about the Longhorn basses is people convert them to baritones, 30, 32 inch scale. They've been out in a variety of configurations, like a variety of scale lengths. So yeah, acquired taste, but there's some cool business going on there. I like those knobs. I wish those knobs were on the regular Danos. Anthony Nieto, what are you saying? Anthony Nieto also pumping out the vids. He just did a baritone video with the Jericho baritone a couple days ago, just released, and playing that through a whole bunch of different tones. What does the Jericho sound like through a whole bunch of different tones? If you're interested in Jerichos, highly suggest checking out Anthony's video. Great video, by the way, Anthony. I think I've already told you that, but yeah, it's great. You're doing a bang up job over there, especially for a new channel. Awesome. Yeah, so I think we're done with Danos for the moment. Yeah, we're done with Danos for the moment. Grab a few comments here. If I go back to the camera, I can move the comments over to the screen. You won't be, yeah, anyway. Gary says, Gary Hebner, Gary also has a baritone channel. By the way, lots of baritone homies in this feed here today, which is nice. Hope you're all well. But Gary says, no effects, yes, skate punk. Yeah, I grew up on, well, I guess my early 20s I spent in bands that sounded like Propagandy, No Effects, Lagwagon, Strung Out, all that kind of stuff. That was kind of my big start to playing shows and all that. And at that time, we'd put on a local show and there would be 200 to 500 kids there playing through a big PA. You know, we were just kids and we'd rent a PA, rent a hall, go out on the street. It was before the internet was big. Go out on the street with handbills, give handbills to everyone who looked like they might skate or might go to a punk show, like California style skate punk show, and just ram it in. And yeah, it was amazing. But NoFX used those super cool Longhorn basses for a bit. And what's going on here? Yeah. Bunn, I copped the Gretsch Jet Baritone, having a tough time dialing in a nice tone using Bias 2. Any tips? I really like, in terms of getting a good baritone sound with Bias effects, I use Bias effects 1 only because I find the amps less muddy. Bias effects engine 2, but version 1, Bias and the Pro version. But nonetheless, the tread plate model, if you use 2 tube screamers in front of it, you're going to have to use a gate for sure, because it'll get pretty noisy. But 2 tube screamers, the level set to 100% on one and maybe 60% on the next, so double boost it. And, you know, the matching tread plate cabinet does a pretty good job of baritone and matches pretty decently with the Gretsch. In terms of those mini hums. Try that out if you're going for a modern metal kind of baritone sound, modern high gain type of sound. Cut all the bottom, and like I say, no drive, only level on the tube screamers, 2 tube screamers. Hope that helps. Let me know if it works out. But we're going to get to the next thing here. Where are we at? 5:31. Are we going to get through all of these topics? There's a lot of baritone news. I appreciate the whatchamacallit, the super chats, by the way, guys. I don't know if I'm saying that enough. But yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you. Next topic here. Bam. Oh, I gotta get good with my technology. This one is more for the Canadians in the house, but it is also for the US Americans. Because these guys will ship across the border, but more for the Canadians. If you're looking for Fender Subsonic necks and you don't want to pay customs, pretty decent price for in Canada purchase of the Fender Subsonic baritone necks. These, we covered this in a previous live stream. These are 27-inch conversion necks. There is information out there from Fender themselves that calls them 27.5-inch conversion necks. They are not. They're 27-inch conversion necks. So if you have a 25.5-inch scale Fender with a traditional neck pocket, there's a lot of those out there, but not all Fenders have that spec. It has to be 25.5-inch spec Fender with a compatible neck pocket. And how do you determine that? I'm not the guy to ask right now. Maybe I'll do a video about that specifically. Compatible conversion specs. That's worthy of a whole video, I guess. But yeah, if you're in Canada, save yourself the customs and all that kind of stuff, and you can get the Subsonic necks for a 27-inch Tele Strat type conversion. People are also doing it with some of the Jazzmasters and stuff like that. Depends. It has to be a 25.5-inch scale model to begin with for the conversion to work. But Solo Music, they are in Mississauga, South Ontario. And yeah, you can get a decent price on a Fender conversion neck. Curious, who has used the Subsonic necks for conversions? More popularly, people are doing the Warmoth stuff, the all parts stuff. It's not as common to see actual Fender Subsonic baritone conversions. And I think that's because they're 27 inches in scale and people are always hoping for a little bit more. The all parts conversion necks, I believe, are either 27.5 or 27 and 7/8 or 27.75. Not exactly sure on the spec, but I think they're a little bit longer. But and there's also, in the past, there was Mighty Mite conversion necks. I don't know if Mighty Mite is doing baritone conversion necks anymore. But yeah, does anyone have the Fender neck conversions? And how do you like it? I'm very curious. Yeah, $5 or £5. Holy jumping. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. That's a very heavy amount of money. It's like probably about almost $7 Canadian. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Mr. Max here, Maximilian, he says, I love the Dano's sound. I'm not happy with the noise. Even with my decimator on, I guess I play too much staccato stuff. Yeah, it is an acquired technique and taste to deal with the noise of the Danos. For me personally, I don't like noise, but I'll take it because the sound of those lipsticks is something else. And a cure for the noise, if you're okay with it, if you're playing through a tube amp, you can put a decimator or whatever. I have a decimator as well. You can put a decimator in front of the amp. Make sure it's at the front of your pedal board, and then also put a decimator in the effects loop. So 2 of them. Some of them have the key input, the G string or whatever. Mine is a regular decimator, but it does have the key input. So you can kind of do the dual thing where the key input, the signal from your guitar, will key the loop to react. And it tends to perform really well that way. The only thing about it is using these keyed input gates is sometimes it can be too staccato and kind of really kill the life of your playing. It depends how you play. If you play mostly start-stop kind of like djenty kind of stuff, you can do a dual gate or a keyed input loop gate to get a tighter noise control. And with the Danelectro, if you want to keep the stock pickups, you're going to need some pretty serious gating. So yeah, little tip there. Hope it helps. But yeah, anyone here with Connor, Baritone Meteora? Yes, please. Yeah, that's the Fender sort of like one of their boutique-y kind of models this past year or maybe last year. But Sebastian in the group has one on his. Okay, yeah, Sebastian Tamner. Sebastian. He has a Fender neck on a Fender body, like as a conversion. That's right. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Yeah, I don't see too many of the Fender necks, Fender conversion necks on, for Fender conversions. But I'm sure tons of people have purchased them and used them. They're just not talking about them very much. We're going to move on to our next thing here. Our next little item. This is a little known desktop ride again. And this is the company called Aria. Aria was a very popular guitar company in the 80s. Excuse me. When I was in high school and playing, a lot of people were getting the Aria stuff. It was a Japanese company that was making high quality, low cost instruments, which is, the Japanese way. I guess also sort of where China is at now, because Chinese instruments are getting good. All the Gretches, all the Gretsch baritones are all made in China, and those are great instruments. But anyhow, this Aria, I believe this one's also I think they're all made in China now. But anyway, a lot of people are talking positively on these. It is 30 inches in scale. It has a very unique offset body. I think I like it better in the white than I do in in terms of this body shape and this configuration. I like the white one. Looks interesting to me. I don't know. I'm not crazy about that headstock, but hey, nothing a file or a jigsaw wouldn't fix. But yeah, very interested. I've seen a few people talk about it, but it just there's no conversation on this guitar. And yeah, so I thought I'd bring it to everybody's attention. Aria is the company. Like I say, after the show, all of the links will be available in the description. However, this show will not stay up public. It will become unlisted and in a playlist. So if after 24 hours or so, these news shows will be available only in a playlist on the Bunn main channel or whatever, on the Bunn main page, YouTube page. If you're curious to follow up with all of the links for this show, but they will be available. They're just not on there yet. Because you don't want to spoil the show, right? But I'm curious, who's interested in this model? It's pretty out there in a way, but it's also classic in a way. Like I say, I feel like the white version, the white and black, seems to knock it out of the park a little harder for me personally. Let's get a full view here. Yeah, that's a nice enough looking instrument. 30 inches in scale, stock with a humbucker. I could do without the tremolo, but this kind of a tremolo is easy to block off and lock down. Yeah, stone cold stunner. I don't know. Anyone familiar with Aria? Anyone played this guitar? It's not a popular part of the conversation, like I was saying. Bam, getting in here. Hello, Russell. Hello, Road Bull. Hello, Wesley. A bunch of new folks here. For those of you just joining us, this show is a pilot episode to a potential weekly baritone news show. I do not know if there is enough to talk about in the baritone topic. There actually probably is, because there are a lot of sort of peripheral topics that we can talk about related to baritone, rather than just, new guitars or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And yeah, few Aria players here. Russell had an Aria. A friend of Road Bull had an Aria. Torquebo likes this Aria. Some room in licenses to give you legacy neck upgrades. Russell is saying, sorry, Russell, sorry, folks, but Russell is saying that Warmoth still has some room in licenses to give you legacy neck upgrades. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but based on what I know, Warmoth stuff is licensed by Fender they can say legally, these are Fender neck spec necks. And they can use the Fender name in their collateral, in their marketing collateral. So maybe that's what you're talking about. Not exactly sure. Warmoth is the king. Like, they make really, really high-end stuff, especially in the fully finished necks. It costs more, but the hassle is so low. So, yeah. And yeah, if you're looking for conversion necks. But yeah, the Aria. What are you guys thinking? Wesley thinks it looks sick. Torquebo loves the off-white. Yeah, I love the off-white. I don't know why the off-white to me looks so much better than the burst. I'm not a fan of bursts personally. Maybe that's it. I don't hate bursts, but I would never buy one on purpose if I had a choice otherwise. But whatever. And Russell is saying it's like 1,000 other bolt-on areas of that year. That's a spin on the Wildcat or Mad Cat, I think. From the 80s, I guess. That's how I remember them. I remember all the areas from, I guess it was probably early to mid 80s. They were all kind of like that. TV Junkie is saying, just here to support. Hello, TV Junkie. Hope you're well. Yeah, Rose. Hello. How are you? Hope you're well. Very cool. Okay, you guys dig the area. That's cool. I was not sure. It's like it's one of those sort of too classic, also too weird for certain people. You know, we could say this about all guitars. It's interesting. Recently, I did a poll. I can't remember exactly what the nature of the poll was, but essentially the feedback told me that no matter what guitar it is, no matter what the style is, there is pretty much an equal amount of people that hate the guitar for how many people love the guitar. It was actually a poll about guitar styles. It wasn't an official poll. It was an Instagram post, now that I think of it. And yeah, for every 10 people that hate on a style, there are just as many people who love a style, etc. So yeah, it's very difficult to be in the guitar game, I would imagine. So if I start a guitar company, imagine what kind of nightmare that would be. But I want to start one. Anyway, we're going to get back to the action here. What's next on the news list? You're wondering. Like, what could possibly... There can't be that much baritone news. Well, indeed there can be. StringJoy recently released a baritone super light string set as stock. So if you're looking for a balanced tension super light set, they got it 12 to 58. And, you know, if you're not familiar with StringJoy, they got a cool subscription thing where they'll automatically send you strings every month. 1 pack, 10 packs, however many packs you specify. But you can do it every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, whatever. It's very cool. String subscription. You don't have to do it though. You can just buy what you want. I just buy what I want when I need. And I buy like, you know, 10 to 30 packs of strings from them at a time. So I don't know, subscription. I know that I'm going to need more strings, so I don't bother with this subscription thing, but it could be a better option for some people. Not sponsored by StringJoy. They have been nice to me in the past, but I just think they're doing a great thing. Anyhow, the pack specs here are 12, 16, 24, wound third, of course, and 32, 44, 58. So if you're looking for a slightly lighter baritone set that's going to fit on longer scale instruments, this might be for you. Many of us at this point have played enough baritones to realize that the lightest strings you can possibly get away with is going to give you, you know, that shiny tone and that better sustain and all that kind of stuff. However, we want the equation of the scale length that gets the lightness of the string, however light the string is or however heavy the string is, to the tension that is desired. And the average tension is somewhere between 15 and 20 pounds per string, give or take, you know, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same for every single set. But people are always like, how do I choose strings? Well, that's how you choose strings if it matters to you. Some people don't care. They're like, my strings are wildly under tension and they're flopping all over the place, but I don't care. That's what I like. That's what you like. But yeah, might be worth taking a look at these new balanced tension baritone superlights. I want to try them out. I don't know what I'm gonna put them on. Probably one of my 30-inch scale guitars. Maybe the SRC6 actually, and see how low we can get away with in tuning with these strings. It's going to be a fun experiment. But yeah, StringJoy, if you're in the United States, I'm not sure. I think their shipping to Europe isn't terrible. From what I've understood in the past, my pal Cairo, who is in Sweden, has purchased StringJoy. I can't remember what he had to say about the fulfillment of it, whether it was too expensive or not. But yeah, not sure what the European thing is, but if you're in North America, that's the thing. However, this is our segue to Europeans. Winspear. If you're in Europe and you're like, I want some strings, some super big strings, I need to get some 14 to 68 balance tension set. And it's just too cost prohibitive for me to pick out that set from StringJoy and the shipping and the customs and the VAT and all this business. Well, Winspear's got you. And from what I understand, even if you're in United States or Canada, very friendly on the shipping, very friendly on all of that stuff. Not entirely sure. I haven't put that fully to the test. But yeah, get in touch. Mr. Winspear is very responsive, very nice people over there, and custom hand-wound strings, and very, a lot of accolades. People only say nice things, that the people I know anyway. So very favored. And if you're in Europe and you're like, I need some strings for my dingwall, you know, I want to go down to 176 on the low G string. Well, these guys can make them for you. So yeah, check that out. Well, I shouldn't say these guys can make them for you. Check it out. Oh, here's another thing. They have this amazing little calculator. And what this calculator does is, if you know the feel of a string at a certain tuning and a certain, you know, scale length and all that kind of stuff, they have this sort of calculator to tune it down and what the string gauge is going to be for your ideal sort of down tuning. If you already know what it's like in, say, E standard and 25.5 inch scale, that's what this calculator does. I'm not going to give you a demo on it right now. Go there and check it out and play with it. That's the best thing to do. But yeah, Winspear, instrumental.com. You know, like I say, the links to all this stuff are going to be in the show notes after the fact. But check them out. Not talked about. But the news piece for me ultimately was their cool little string gauge calculator thingamabobber here. Very cool. And we're going to get into some other things here. We're going to take a look at the comments real quick. I'm keeping kind of on top of the comments without getting too far behind. Whoa, look at that. I did it. I finally did it. You see what I have to deal with, what I have to do here? But Gary Hebner, he lives in South Africa, and he says, StringJoy shipped Find Me. Just standard post, no special posting, and cost fine. That's great. Very good to know. Your audio may vary. Local shop carried Memphis, NY Pro, Aria Pro 2. Don't remember anything having a setup, and prices were way too high. Dude went out of business with the same dust and guitars on the walls for years. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a very, talking about the Aria guitar earlier, very niche audience there. And Russell says, this is actually an interesting comment. Russell says, I do get tired of seeing guitars I love the look of, and then they are like 25.5 or whatever. Yeah, not as many cool options in the baritone realm. Hopefully that changes in the years to come. There is a lot of change this last year in terms of models going discontinued. The last 2 years, a lot of models discontinuing. Let's hope that it's not because baritones are not selling. You know, Gretsch is well aware of baritones being big in the market, and Gretsch is a Fender company. Fender owns Gretsch. So Fender knows what's going on in the baritone game. And they're moving a lot of those Gretsch baritones, especially after they went with the fixed bridge. They're like, oh, light bulb moment. So let's hope we see more options in terms of aesthetics and also functionality, configurations for baritones in the longer of scales, like beyond 27 inches in scale. Rose says, hey, Bunn, how heavy is the Gretsch you own compared to other guitars? Is it similar to Les Paul? No, it is lighter than a Les Paul, but it is not a light guitar. It is lighter than a vintage Les Paul. It's more like a chambered light Les Paul. Where is it? Here. But yeah. Ooh, it is a very reasonable feeling guitar. And compared to, it is, whoa, are we on camera? Yeah. Compared to the RGIB 6, I don't know, this camera angle sucks. How's this? That's good, yeah. Compared to the RGIB 6, it is just a little bit heavier. At least this one is. Hello. I think mileage may vary because the woods that they're using may not be consistent. You know, they're being manufactured pretty inexpensively, pretty cheaply. So who knows? But I hope that helps, Rose. Hope you're well. Barry Proser, I see you. How are you, man? We're doing a little test show here today. For those of you just joining the show, this is a pilot of a news show. I'm already getting out of control, getting out of the seat and walking around and doing bad camera angles. But yeah, it's a test pilot. We're going to do a few episodes. The key is if I can do this show and it not dig into the rest of my shows, my produced content and my music making, and I can still do it and the show has some value to it, you know, it shares information that is useful, then I will keep doing it on a weekly basis, just an hour, and on a Monday. But we'll see what happens. I do have the inside line on a bunch of things, so that might help. Who knows? We'll see. Like I say, we'll see. But we're going to get on to the next because we're going to shut this show down very shortly. Baritone right, or desktop right. Hello. Oh, we're still on that one. Bam. What is this? So, in a past live stream, I talked about fake baritone and using the drop, using a capoed guitar with the drop, using a bass guitar as a sort of more of a guitar roll, and all of these sorts of things. And some people were hip to it. A lot of people were like kind of poo-poo about it. They're like, not that anybody was overtly negative about it. I'm not saying that. But people are like, I'm not really stoked on that. Well, it is good enough for the Deftones. Flat Earth is also good enough for the Deftones, but that's a different conversation. What we're talking about today is Mr. Carpenter here using, I can't play it because I don't want a copyright strike, but he is using a bass to play a Pins and Needles cover. And I think actually I found out about this through Gary Hibner, who is in the chat. So I might be wrong on that, but if I'm right on that, thanks, Gary. But if I'm wrong, I'm sorry for being wrong. But anyhow, Mr. Carpenter is using a bass to play all the guitar type of lines. It's a very guitar flavor of playing, but he is using a bass to do it all. And am I saying that you guys should not bother with baritones and just use basses? No, I'm just saying creativity is number one. And my channel is not about that you should use baritones or you should use baritones of a specific configuration. I just try to talk about things that work the best they can for a specific spec. But whatever you want to use and whatever you have, whatever you can use, you should use it. And Mr. Carpenter here, he's using the old bass for this tune and the playthrough and all that stuff. And it sounds really good. And I loved it. He's also using a Helix. He's in front of the Synergy amp, but it's not on. And he's using the Helix for all the tones. So, yeah. The world is your oyster these days. And unbelievable amount of power is available to you if you're just creative. A Helix and a bass. Make a tune. Sell a lot of records. So that's pretty cool. We're going to rip through these last few things because yeah, we're almost done. Doodcraft guitars. Why Doodcraft guitars? I bring them up a lot. A few things. Number one is he has recently like put a lot more effort into his channel. He makes a lot of baritone guitars, but he's been doing weekly builds. Like he does videos all the time, chronicling his baritone builds. He makes all kinds of guitars, but a lot of baritones and a lot of really unique baritones. And the videos are just getting better and better and better. And I really love watching the channel. But he's also in the Great Guitar Build-Off. And he's doing some unique stuff there. There's going to be some baritone flavor in that as well, from what I understand. So yeah, if you're into baritones and you're into building and you're into unique, not only unique looking guitars, he does everything from wild looking things to more classic looking things to really cool configurations like 12 string baritones, or sometimes like, you know, the 3 high strings are just straight and the 3 low strings are doubled or whatever, like various configurations on that theme of a 12 string, but not always 12 strings. So yeah, very highly recommended channel. Guy does the work for very competitive pricing. And he also does conversion necks for baritones. If you have a weird brand with a weird neck pocket, he has made conversion necks for people. You send the body there and he does all the measurements and whatever and specs out a neck and builds a conversion neck for you. So yeah, if you don't know about Doodcraft, definitely check it out. And it's just an exciting time for him because he's doing the Great Guitar Build-Off. And that segues into our next thing here. Pal of the channel, pal of in all of the communities, Shawn Heath. He's also a guitar and bass builder, kind of at the beginning, but has done some heavy stuff, some amazing builds already. And he's also in the Great Guitar Build-Off, and he's doing this wild baritone multi-scale type of thing. Definitely, he's doing videos on his build series as well. Definitely worth checking out. But another thing he did was this. This video, I'm not gonna play it, bam. But he took the Strat and he moved the bridge back. I don't know how well you can see it here. Bam. Bam. Yeah, he moved the bridge back. And this was an experiment because a lot of people will recommend this. Oh, why don't you just move the bridge back, you know, to get more scale length? There's a whole bunch of problems. I'm not going to spoil the video if you're interested. If you don't know what the problems you will incur are and you're curious, definitely watch the video. He goes through it all. Yeah, you can't move the bridge back. Well, you can. Like, there's no one who's going to say you're not allowed. But yeah, he covers it great. And I'm glad somebody finally made this video. And the last thing here, 2 final little bits before we sign off, which is I did a little poll a little while ago, and it seems most people compose their own music. I was under the impression that most people kind of jam to other. It seemed like in the conversation that a lot of people play covers and want to play other people's music, but it seems the trend is more that people want to write their own music, which is great because I want to get into more content, doing more content that is about the creative process, the production process, the making of the music, using these baritones and all that. But I wasn't sure if people were, you know, hip to that stuff. But it seems the overwhelming majority are. So yeah, if you want to weigh in the conversation there or participate in the poll further to further see what the difference is in participants, the poll is still up in the Bunn feed. I don't know what you call this. The Bunn community feed, community posts. It's only on desktop that I think you can get to it though. But yeah, that's up. So we're going to be seeing more of that kind of produced content. And the very final thing is Bandcamp Friday is over. But just because it's over doesn't mean it's over. And I'm still going to try and hit a track for the first Friday of every month. And if I don't make it, then so be it. But that's going to be my mile marker. Anyone who wants to participate in this with me, kind of, you know, team spirit, try and get a track done for every Bandcamp Friday, every first Friday of every month. Yeah, I'm going to shoot for it. If anyone else wants to kind of join me on that, make it a team effort, and release on Bandcamp that Friday. And even if I don't make it and somebody else does, I will champion them. So yeah, let me know if you're into that idea. I'm going to do it anyway, so I'm not going to wait for you. But that's it for today. I can't believe we actually went over time. It's probably because I'm full of hot air. I talk a lot. I'm going to move the comments over. We're going to just sign out on the comments. It's great to see so many of you turn out for this unannounced tester video, this unannounced test stream. I hope you're all well. I hope you have a great week. Monday is always the start of a lot of potentially great things. What potentially great things are you going to task yourself to this week? I hope you get to a track or, learn a new technique or something cool like that. Learn a new facet of recording or creativity. The time has never been better, but we're going to sign off. And like I say, thank you very much for all the super chats and all of that kind of stuff. That stuff goes a long way. And unbelievable. So have a great week, and we're going to end the stream. Sweet.